Hey guys, Mike's Gettin Greasy Garage, and as you can see, got a gauge panel here. Water temp, oil pressure, volts, and this is air pressure for the air ride. The buttons are for the door poppers. So this panel is designed, these gauges will be hidden in the glove box so that nothing is sticking down below the dash, because that's how I like things and that's how I build them. Anyway, I took 18 gauge sheet metal, cut all these pieces out, and then welded it together. I just tacked it together and then put some seam sealer on it, painted it. So, painted it red because that's one of the colors of the car. So it turned out pretty nice. Got it all wired. A lot of wiring going on here. Each of the gauges is grounded. I didn't want to wasn't concerned about trying to ground through the panel, so I just made a ground harness, and that's what these are. We got it's up here. So these four pins are for the push buttons for the door poppers, and then you have the dash lights and the hot wire for the voltage gauge, and then here's a ground harness, which I've got a ground underneath the dash already in line for this. So, and then of course the temp sensor that I have to feed through the firewall. But yeah, this turned out really nice. Pretty happy with it. This is the kind of stuff that take time. You figure like Dakota Digital and some of these other, not so much Dakota Digital, but you buy a gauge cluster that's already assembled, already wired. This stuff takes time. Between building this and wiring it, probably, I don't know, 6 hours continuous. But maybe a little more. I mean, 6 to 8 hours isn't that huge when you figure what all is done here. Cutting out all these metal pieces, welding it all together, hole sawing out all these holes, because I don't have drill bits that go to 2 1/8, and I don't have a 3/4 inch bit, and then of course all these wiring harnesses. So it all takes time. And even though the Fast Easy EFI does have a spot for temp and coolant, or I mean not coolant but oil pressure built in, I'm still a big fan of actual mechanical gauges. So these will be in the glove box, plus dash lights, and the original gauge cluster will be hooked up, so if there's a problem, he'll know about it, and he can immediately push the button on the glove box door and know what's going on. I changed out all the lights in these to LEDs. These don't light up. I kind of wish they did, but no big deal. They're just momentary push buttons. Left front, left rear, right front. And this is, the mechanical handles will still be on the doors on the inside, but sitting in the driver's seat and you want to open the right rear door, you can just push this button, door popper will actuate. So, but anyway, another part of the Fairlane done. Had to have gauges in it for when I fire it up, so I can monitor temp and oil pressure, of course. But real happy with the way this turned out. Next step of this is to get it mounted in the dash, which is just this fits in from the back side of the dash, and then there's 2 screws on top, 2 on bottom, and 1 on each side. So that won't be too big of a deal, but yep, pretty happy with how this turned out. So a lot of this stuff is just ideas in my head, and on this one I did actually kind of lay out a diagram. So anyway, I finished this up today. Today's Sunday. thought I'd give you guys a look, and then you'll see it again when it's in the car. But making progress. Wrapping this up to wrap up a couple other things. Got all the other wiring done. So when I get back from vacation after next week, then I'm going to stick the motor in this thing. If I don't do it before I leave. But when I stick the motor in, I want to be able to start it right up and play with it and stuff. I mean, still have to order a drive shaft, but nonetheless, anyway, guys, I'm just kind of rambling here, and I'm going to get going. Probably go get something to eat. It's after 5 o'clock on a Sunday night. You know, I spend 7 days a week doing this stuff. And it didn't work out that I got to take off for Memorial Day weekend like most of my customers got to, but now it's my turn. So anyway, I don't know if I'll get another video up before I leave or not, but I'll probably send out some shorts while I'm gone. So, alright guys, I want to say thanks for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. If you would, please hit that thumbs up. It really helps out the analytics on the channel. And any and all likes, comments, shares, subscribe. All that stuff helps out the channel. It's free to you. Anyway, while my battery went dead and cut me off, I was just going to say, all that stuff's free. Doesn't cost you a thing, really helps out the channel. Helps this thing grow. So, if you would, push all them buttons and do them little things. Just takes a second. And, we'll grow this thing. Alright guys, stay greasy, my friends.